recorded.
Diana, and I just wanted to say thank you again.
Good morning. You're welcome. Good morning, everyone. Hey, welcome to Wake Up with Akana with our own CEO. My name is Phyllis Nash. I am glad to get on out of the way this morning so we can bring our visionary, our CEO up. And please make sure you have pen and paper. Although Dr. Roz is on it, whatever is announced, you know you are going to get it in your email. Excuse me. So without further ado, here it is coming on up on 18 years, guys. December, I think this time next week. No, not quite. Will be 18 years that I've known our CEO, who made an impression on me the very first day I saw her standing in front of the room, having just fired her boss the day before and embarking on a full-time life of social selling where she had more time freedom or options to make her priorities her own, which was her son. Went on and did phenomenal, became MVP of 3 companies, built teams in over 46 countries with over 33,000 members, guys, distributors under her wing. And yes, back in 2017, she did do a pivot. She came back into corporate America after being asked by a mentor of hers to be the CEO of his cannabis company. Now, here's someone that had never probably done marijuana or cannabis before in her life. But I can tell you one thing, our CEO is open-minded. So she listened to some calls, heard about the life-changing benefits of the CBD product on different individuals, and decided to take that post, taking that company from $8,000 to $225,000 a month. And then 2019 came around and we formed Wakana, which is now Akana. And guys, we are on our way to $1 billion big. So without further ado, here to take your marching orders for today on this Cyber Monday is our own CEO, Melissa Boston. Melissa, are you out there?
Hey, Phyllis, I'm out here. Good morning, everyone on the line. Oh, my goodness. I am super excited to be on the line this morning. And wow, Phyllis, thank you so much for those accolades. I tell you what, every time I get on this call, I hear your voice. You know, you're so humble, so gracious to give me such great accolades, but I really have to throw it back to you and just so grateful and appreciative for all you've done throughout the years. I mean, it's amazing how long we've now been together in business, as friends, as now family, and just to see the records you broke, the way you've trained our team. I'm telling you what, I mean, our midwife, helping all of us give birth to unlimited possibilities. Thank you so much. And everyone on the line, I want to just, again, welcome you. And once again, good morning, because guess what? Today is Cyber Monday, okay? I mean, this is like the biggest day of your year in business. If you're in retail sales, this is truly your Super Bowl today. And here's what is super exciting, guys. You know, up this morning, you know, running reports, doing different things. And I noticed a trend, okay? And it's funny, you know, you watch the news, you hear statistics about the difference between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Because in business, you know, for so long, it was always about Black Friday. And of course, Black Friday was epic. But when I'm up, you know, running reports, checking you guys' numbers, just kind of seeing where we're at, and what I noticed is you're already trending today about 3 times bigger than this time on Black Friday. It's like, it's epic, right? It's kind of crazy when you really think about what's going on. And so again, this is your Super Bowl today. And prayerfully, you have been prepared, okay? And I know at the end of the day, as long as you keep pushing, you're going to be victorious. You're going to reach your goals. You're going to reach your dreams. And it's super exciting. And I'm going to go ahead and get right into the program today because I do want to share the meaning of Akana, the meaning in the hands of God. Our mission, we believe health, wealth, freedom, and legacy are our birthright. By offering the most life-changing products and an innovative business, we empower people to elevate to their full potential. Our vision to elevate the well-being of your body and soul. And so let's talk about some things we're going to get into for today. Again, it's exciting when you look at where we're trending right now. And if you are on the moderator line, please do me a favor and just mute out for me, or just if you're just joined us, kind of mute your line. Maybe if the phone lines aren't muting. But one thing today, we're going to do something really explosive for you. Okay, we really want to make sure today, you really realize that whether or not your business is having the success that you want, there are some people having bigger success in their business this whole weekend than they've ever had. And so we want to really get everybody in that same mindset of recognizing and realizing that this is your time, right? The tools are in place. There's a lot of great things that you can do to continue to expose your business. But today for Cyber Monday, we are throwing out what we call the wild card, okay? Because again, we don't want anyone left behind. And here's what's going to happen at the end of this call. I'm going to make a groundbreaking announcement regarding Dubai, okay? It's going to blow off your socks, okay? And so you're going to really understand why this wild card, for some of you, it's going to be what takes you over the top, okay? And so the wild card that we're throwing out there today for Cyber Monday is when you buy 3 of the exact same products. It has to be the exact same product, but it's any 3, right? So that means it could be 3 of the same gummies, 3 of the same tinctures, 3 of the same flat belly cleansers, 3 of the same whatever, essential oils. We are throwing the 4th one in free, okay? So that's your wild card. But here's the other cool news, guys. We're making that deal retroactive even through Black Friday. So if you have customers that came on to buy 3 pain cream on Black Friday, guess what? They're going to get a 4th one for free, okay? So I know they're going to be excited because they're getting more than what they thought they were getting. But today, it's going to really give you the platform to go out there and ensure that your retail store breaks some records for you, okay? Whatever you did last year on Cyber Monday, you want to double that today. You want to triple that today. Because guess what? We're already seeing some trends, right? We're already seeing what's happening when we compare Black Friday to already what's happened before most people got out of bed, okay? Which means people were up late at night, all night long, shopping. And if they didn't hit your store, guess what? We want to show you how to get some people hitting your store because, again, today is your Super Bowl. And here's the reality. When you think about teams, when they're preparing for the Super Bowl, they don't just wait till the Super Bowl to show up for the game, okay? I mean, look at what the NFL players do and the sacrifices they make. And unfortunately, oftentimes the sacrifice is at the expense of their body, their brain. So we have the opportunity to have the type of Super Bowl, to be in an industry, that does exponentially more revenue than the NFL. And we can do it from the comfort of our home with our house slippers on, with our coffee in our hands. But the key is you got to get in the game, okay? And the other key is up until that Super Bowl, you got to also lay the foundation. You got to plant the seeds, right? We got to make sure we're focused, right? Focus. That's the critical thing about this industry. There's a period of time where you have to just be so laser focused, so dialed in. People often look and they see us working so hard. They see us grinding because we get the industry, guys. We understand the power of it. We understand the big payoff. And the reality is this, it's those who go out there and they focus. They stay laser focused on the goal. They get that there's a time to play, okay? There's a time to party. Guess what? But there's a time where you just want to focus and get the job done, because when you do this for a period of time, this industry will set you up for the rest of your life, okay? When we talk about that, the fact that we were able to retire, okay? I mean, I retired in my 30s. I was literally going to go to Argentina, living off residual income. And that's because I was in an industry that gave me leverage. See, a job is about you showing up every day, but a business is about leveraging. There are some people who, for whatever reason, things have happened, not able to participate. Sometimes it's an illness. Sometimes it's just, the way life happens. But guess what? They still have people on their team, hundreds of people that are on their team that are out there having sales for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And guess what that means? That means month after month, week after week, there are some people that still get a check here at Akana. And guess what? They haven't showed up, some of them, for years. Okay, and that's the power. And that's why when you really get a taste of residual income, you get a taste of this industry, you get, wow, this is special. It's like something I've never had before. Then guess what? You start realizing I got to get focused. I got to get dialed in. I got to get some consistency in my business. And here's the good news, guys. The good news is really for most people, especially when you're in a business like this, it's not so much that you got to spend so much time. It's not the hours. It's just disciplining yourself during the hours you do have available, because most people do this part-time. So it's not like you have 24 hours to work, okay? But the reality is, if you just, as Scott teaches all the time, gave this consistently, those few hours a day, moving those 5 marbles every day, if you just did that, the consistency of that would take over, and you would find that compounding effect would hit you. Because I can go back, and I have such vivid memories of my journey in network marketing. I can remember when I was working for the largest shipping company in the world. Okay, I was in global sales for that group. I started off in customer service, and when I was in customer service, I can remember that at that time frame, going on my breaks and making phone calls, right? I remember I had a teammate that lived not far from the office, and during my breaks, that's what I would do. I would make phone calls. And so I didn't do it while I was working. I did it during the breaks. And guess what? While I was building my network marketing business, I was getting promotions with that company. So it's possible for you to do 2 types of things at the same time, as long as you put that time management in place and as long as you put that consistent effort. And I remember so vividly, one of my best recruits that I ever recruited into this industry, I was in the parking lot of my job, okay, on lunch break, right? I was on lunch break in the parking lot on the phone, got her on the phone, got my mentor on the phone. We were able to close her out. She gave me a lead of a prospect, and he lived right by the office. And I tell you what, on my lunch break, I would go to his house because, again, I was pretty shy, but I was very strategic, and I always was about business, right? So I love growing businesses, but I just wanted to find the right team. And what I knew about this guy, his son was very famous, and he had massive contacts. And he said, Melissa, I have no time to work the contacts. He said, but if you come to my home, he said, we'll go into my office, we'll go through them, and I'll allow you to run through contacts with me. As we were in his office, okay, running through these contacts, guess what? The 28th person we called ended up being one of my top recruits of all times and brought thousands of people into my team. And I'm telling you this to tell you what? I'm telling you this to tell you that most of us, the reason why our business has not yet taken off like a rocket ship is because we think in our mind, about our business all the time. And because we're thinking about it, and maybe we're on Facebook looking at posts and stuff, and we're on training calls, we think, oh my God, I'm always doing this business. And you think that is work, right? And it's really not the activity that you need to go to the next level. So if you cut out some of the stuff that we call the busy work, right? Yeah, you want to get your certifications done. You want to get people on the calls. That's great. But the reality is, it's only about a 2 to 3 hour work period that's necessary in this industry, but it has to be consistently, whether you're doing it 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, but it has to be consistently, because that was the energy I was able to give, because again, I'm in corporate America. And then I remember when I got my big promotion, again, I'm working in network marketing, big promotion, moved to New Jersey, right? And I was able to be in what they call global sales division, right? Global sales division. And the reality is, when I was in that global sales division, making more money and just having success, traveling all over the country, guys, here's what happened. What I realized is I needed to really take it to the next level. And so I remember moving back to Atlanta, and I had someone introduce to me another type of business. And do you know that that business was the business that would eventually retire me? And so the point is, when we're in these type of businesses, a lot of times we think, I got to quit my job, I got to do this, I got to do all of that to make some money, and not realizing when we go back and just really kind of narrow down our life and really kind of look at the story of how did we get here? How have we become, a person who would earn over $500,000 a year in a business like this, right? I've seen some months, right, where I had, those huge, $50,000, $60,000 months. And it's like, oh my God, how did this happen? And it happened because I was willing to work every day, during Monday through Friday. So Monday through Friday, I worked pretty much every day doing those phone calls. But guess what I did on the weekends? On the weekends, we did those parties. So we combined making the contact with parties, built this duplicatable system. And by the time I retired, okay, from corporate America, by the time I fired my boss, guess what? I had got to the point where I'm making more money at this little part-time gig, okay? This little part-time gig where we have to, borrow time, okay? We got to find time. And the power of it is the consistency. And so many times we start and stop our business. We start and stop our business, and we don't get that it has to be consistent. So today, really what I want you to do is recognize if your business isn't doing what you want it to do, guess what? Don't be frustrated. Let that be your motivation and ask yourself, have I consistently had anything that I was doing on a weekly basis? What was my consistent daily method of operation? What was I doing? Was I making consistent phone calls? Was I working with my team consistently? Was I consistently doing parties? Because it really requires some strategy, right? We can't just say hocus pocus and think it's going to happen. Abracadabra, we're going to be diamonds. We're going to all go to Dubai. That's great. We call that wishful thinking. It's okay that we have the positive mindsets, right? But a lot of times we can be so positive and we're not realistic, right? So the reality, guys, is in everything we do, there's got to be strategy, right? There's got to be some realism to recognize that without the work, guess what? It's not going to work. And so we've got to work because it's called network marketing, okay? And so let's make this day an electrifying day because we already see that you are just outpacing right now in CV. I mean, the CV is going through the roof. When I compare this time last year, really we had a phenomenal season, but in reality, it's because we were closing out the founders, right? And so the majority of that month was, guess what? Founders packs, right? It wasn't like the retail sales was just so electrifying. But what's exciting about this season, what I'm finding is you guys have now put us in a position where for the first time, see, we've always had more customers than distributors. I mean, our customer ratio blows the industry out the water, okay? That's phenomenal. But guess what? The average customer might spend sometimes $100. Sometimes they're spending $80. Distributors come in at, guess what, $1,000, $1,500. So from a revenue point of view, even though, yes, the customers are greater, it's sometimes about equal. Either we see exactly the same number of revenue from our customers as our distributors because distributors are typically spending 10 times more. So it kind of balances out. Well, guess what we had for the first time on Black Friday? We found that the customer volume, not just the number of customers, because that's always bigger, okay, always bigger, but the money and the dollar power of our customers actually far exceeded our distributors, right? And that never happens in network marketing. Even the companies that say, hey, we have more customers than distributors, guess what? The distributors still have a greater spending power because distributors are still more vested. And so what I'm telling you is we are on our way, guys. Things are looking so sweet right now. And you've got to just position your mindset. And the mindset has to say, wow, this could really be my season. This is my season. What's missing is probably just your consistency. You just have to get out there and be consistent on a daily basis. And next time when your Super Bowl is here, you don't take off, right? You don't take off right before the Super Bowl, right? It's the time to push. It's the time to move. It's the time to get busy. And if you've not felt like you've been really working that hard up until now, it's not too late. Because here's what's so exciting. We built up so much momentum around the flat belly, around the 7-day and the 21-day cleanse. And the fact that we just thrown you a wild card, right? You can go to every customer and let them know whatever their favorite product is, whatever their favorite product they've ever bought from us. Guess what? Today, on our Wild Card Monday, you're able to tell them that if they buy 3 of those, we're going to send them the 4th one free, okay? And that's going to give you some momentum to leverage Dubai in a different way because, again, I'm about to make a big announcement, and that means we all have the potential to be there in Dubai, okay? And so let's just say this. We see the momentum, right? It's starting to build. But there's 4 days, guys. And I don't know if that excites you, but that excites me because we have today, your Super Bowl, the biggest shopping day of the year. And here's what's also exciting is even though last year on Cyber Monday, we had such an explosive Cyber Monday, the last day of the month was even bigger. So it's kind of unfair to you or unfair to the rest of the world, because in this industry, we kind of get two of those Super Bowls. We get not only the Cyber Monday, but we're getting the last day of the month because we have something called rank advancements, right? Everybody's looking to rank up, and that's going to push you right through when you rank up. And so again, 4 of the most exciting days are right here in front of us. And it's really about understanding the vision. I want you to really think now for a moment. We're going to just take a quick little detour because I want you to understand the vision of where we are going with the customers, right? I mean, I can see one day, our customer ratio just being, 100 to 1, right? 100 to 1. I mean, it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger. It's already about 1 to 20, okay? And that is unheard of. You don't have customers for every 1 distributor. There's about 20 customers, okay? But I want you to look at the Mary Kays. I want you to look at some of the big companies out there. And I don't know if you've ever been on Facebook where you see those sponsored ads. And sometimes you're getting them from Mary Kay. Sometimes you're getting them from just various companies. Sometimes it's companies at one point you might have been in their database and you're still getting those sponsored ads from them. So just imagine a company like Akana, who's been in business since 2019. But because we took a route that was a little bit controversial, right? We got into the cannabis space, right? I'm telling you, the Farm Bill had just been signed in 2018. And so when we were actually in the space initially in 2017, we actually were in meetings where people were pretty much telling us, y'all going to go to jail. This is illegal. And it wasn't illegal. It was just the fact that the Farm Bill hadn't really straightened out the confusion. So the confusion got straightened out in 2018. So here we are. We have the audacity to start Akana, right? Wakana at the time in 2019. And because it was in such a highly controversial industry, we were never able to place an ad. And so just know this, companies who have good customer ratios, they have it because they're constantly putting their brand in front of you. You're seeing some type of sponsored ad, whether you've been on their page and they target you, they retarget you. They have teams in place to do all of those algorithms, right? We had hired a team back in 2021 working to do the exact same thing. And that team actually ended up getting us barred from doing any ads, right? Because again, cannabis is so regulated. It is such a hard market. And so of course we would make the pivot by the end of 2021 to the Flat Belly Lifestyle. In fact, we started Flat Belly Lifestyle at the beginning of 2021, but then met Dr. Prince in October, okay? And so we took it to the next level. But the reality is that team that came on in January 2021. And that's why I know everything happens for a purpose and a reason, guys. And we were so frustrated because they got us banned from doing any ads on Facebook. Facebook just locked us, said, well, our account is completely restricted. We cannot do any ads. And so just imagine a company, 4.5 years in business in an industry where the first 18 months, 90% failed. The first 5 years, we know that 98% fail, right? And so we're still here, and we're here strong, right? We're here debt-free. We're here thriving, right? And guess what? Never placed an ad, okay? Never, okay? But here's the good news. When we did our pivot, we said, listen, we're going to rebrand. We're going to really focus on the Flat Belly Lifestyle. We're going to also have the CBD, but we really want to position our business for a big billion-dollar bid. And we know right now with the CBD game, it's just so much things you have to worry about. So we wanted to balance it out. So here's what the good news is. For the first time, we've just paved the way for us to now start to place those ads. And so the team is already in place doing all that, working on all of that. And guess what that means? That means so much more momentum and exposure for the business. That means this is almost like day one, okay? This is like the beginning. Like we're finally able to just do the basic things that so many companies have done for decades to get where they're at right now. And so this is exciting because we're going to compound that with, guess what? This new leads program, this new app, and it's not even a new app now. We've taken our app and we've added the 1-2-3 Easy app to it. And so the developers sent me a screenshot and I was like so blown away. I said, this is so perfect timing. I said, this is great. And so what they're doing is they're making it so when you go to your app and you click on it, there's this easy app, 1-2-3, that you're going to be able to click on, and those simple steps that Scott has been working on, right? He's been perfecting, where you can just literally pick your contact, send the video, right? And now with ours, it's one little extra step, but that's so much better than like 6 steps, right? doing all those steps just to send a video, which was cool and it was working. But again, we want to go $1 billion big. And so doing that means also we've got to provide the right tools, the right type of leads. And that brings me to the next point. The next point is right now. Imagine this. You're probably excited. Some of you are frustrated, right? Because you've been telling your family and friends about these specials, and some of them are biting. Some of them are kind of still hemming and hawing. They're telling you they don't got no money or something, right? But here's the good news about leads. Oftentimes when I hear people talk about my story, Melissa's built businesses in 46 countries and all that good stuff. Well, here's the reality. I didn't know anyone in those countries outside of Bermuda. I didn't know contacts in Bermuda, but the rest of the countries I didn't. How did I get there? I got there through leads. And what I found through leads programs, and the leads for me came through Facebook, doing a lot of Facebook marketing, Facebook targeting, retargeting. So that works, right? But the reality is that so many times we get so frustrated because our family and friends don't see it. But just know there are billions of people on this planet. And how many people do you think are potentially at their home right now with the same type of mindset as you, right? The same type of desires. They want to be healthy. They're looking for something. They're frustrated. They're sick and tired. And that's why the lead program is so powerful. That's why Facebook ads are so powerful, because you get to weed out the people that are uninterested. Because Facebook has algorithms where you're looking for specific type of people that are clicking on ads about health, people that are clicking on ads about weight loss, people that have money, okay, people that have certain type of careers. You're able to take your marketing and able to get really specific, to get really dialed in. And it's a game changer when you do it, because now the frustration goes away. Now you have people knocking on your door. Now you have people blowing up your phone line. Now you have people like I do in different countries who blow my inbox box up, who are a part of my team in those other companies, just waiting and asking, when are you going to bring the Akana brand to Africa? When are you going to bring it to Turkey? When are you going to bring it here? And so imagine you can have that same type of business, because here's the reality. If I can teach you a few simple steps to run ads, to go do what Scott's doing and bring us these leads, and just now talk to the leads, he's going to help get you trained on how to talk to them. That means we now are building a business that everyone can do. And here's the reality, guys. Wherever you're at in your life, you have to ask yourself, how did I get here? How did I get here? See, sometimes, we have this vision for our life, and this vision, it's big, right? It's a big vision, but sometimes we're just doing, working so hard to try to get there, right? We're working so hard to try to get there. And the reality is sometimes it's just reprogramming. It's just a little bit of retraining. Sometimes it's just getting the right mentors in your life, because sometimes we get stuck in bad habits. Just know that your brain loves whatever you allow it to do. So if you have bad things you're doing every day, like procrastinating, watching too much TV, your brain gets addicted to that. It loves that. And so it thinks that that's your way out. So it wants you to do that every single day. It's going to take pleasure in whatever you allow, whether it's good or bad, whether it's detrimental for your health. And what I love about where we're going with the EE Center, with this whole frequency and energy increases, they told us that many of us suffer from what they call the broken radio syndrome, which means our frequencies are mismatched, right? There's something mismatched between what we're feeling internally and now the goals we're trying to manifest. And that basically means we've got to reprogram our frequency. And what are we bringing? We're bringing the energy centers. That's going to do what? That's going to help build our frequency. We're building boot camps that are going to help rewire some of those bad habits that we've been stuck with, because our brain's addicted to them, and our brain thinks that those are the things we need to succeed, and they're not. It's the opposite, right? And so now for the big news. Okay, let's just talk about platinums, okay? We have diamonds going with us to Dubai, but guess what? Some of you are going to put your business in a position where you're going to hit silver, right? You're going to hit platinum. And so what we're going to do, if you're on the line right now, diamonds, of course, go to Dubai automatically, and we have several of you lined up for diamonds. But here's what we're also going to do for those who hit emerald, for those who hit platinum. Even if you reach silver with your CV, you're going to have some points that you're going to be able to cash in for certain parts of the Dubai experience. Now, it won't be a full paid trip like the diamonds, but imagine if you can get an air ticket. Imagine if you can get a 3-night stay. Imagine if you can get some of your trip done because you just went out there and you busted it for the end of the month, right? And so we are excited because we had a vision of taking with us at least 20 people to Dubai, okay? That's going to be what we call one for the records, right? To have 20 plus people in Dubai, that's going to be a game changer. I really believe it might be closer to 30. And so we're going to get the details out, but just know diamonds are coming with us to Dubai. And if you are on target for diamond, you better push, because this is the season to get there. We see some of your numbers trending in the right direction. So we do know we're going to see some new diamonds, and that's exciting. But if you are on the line right now and you've just dreamed of being there, well, guess what? You got to get in the game. You can't just think you're going to show up. But for those of you who do hit emerald, you're going to get some points. You hit platinum, and that's with CV, you're going to get some points. And we're going to even give some points to the silvers, right? And right now, I looked at the list, and the list is getting massive. So many of you are crushing it with CV. I mean, I even see people like Mom Mitchell she's already, she's already there. I'm sorry, if you hit gold or platinum, you get points, okay? Gold or platinum, not silver. It's gold or platinum, you're getting points. But we have some people that are already there at silver. So I know some of you are going to get to gold. You're going to get to gold because I see that you're already at silver, like Mom Mitchell. She's already over 1,000 plus with her CV. Dr. Conti, right? This is someone who we love. She's not been plugged in, but guess what? She loves our products, still gets her products to her mom. She's already over 1,000 CV. Diana Coleman, girl, you are already over 1,000 CV. Bernadine Kirkland, who's already a diamond coming to Dubai, but she looks like she's going to pick up some more points because she's already over 1,000. And many of you are right there at the door, like Ann Hawkins, Mooney, right? Ann Mooney, Marguerite Wright. Many of you are right there at the door, Michael Newsom. And so here's the reality. Go to gold, and gold is what? 2,500 CV. So you got to go to 2,500 CV or 5,000 CV. If you go to 5,000, you're getting more points. You're going to see all the details, those that get emailed out. But the reality is you want to get some of these points, okay? Because in order for you to get in the door for Dubai, you got to have some points. Don't just think you're going to show up, guys. But if you have points, we're going to help you get there. And so today's lineup, of course, right now, we are rebounding. You can save your strand, saveourstrands.com. Tomorrow is the Diamond Factory. And then, of course, we want you to jump on the Diamond Factory because that's going to help you take your strategy to the next level as we're closing out the month, as you're really seeing where you ended up for Cyber Monday, as you see these new details with the points. You want to be strategic by the end of the month and get those points in, okay, cash them in so that you can get some rewards for Dubai. And so with that being said, we want each and every one of you to have an Akana day. We're going to see you at the top. At the very top, at the tip top. Have a phenomenal day, ladies and gentlemen.